Hi, Candace. We're going to take a look at your film number 2, offer a bit of feedback here. So let's jump right in. I'm going to just start playing and sort of talk as we go. So I'll just bring up. So we have about, it look like 18, 17, 17 seconds, best friends, and then we get the start of the piece. Now, I don't think that's a terribly, that's not too long. You might be able to cut some of that down a little bit. It's not a terribly long title. You might be able to trim that out just a little bit in terms of the length of that title. By Fran Marlowe. Yeah, I mean, I think you might be able to trim that out. I think it's nice that you fade out. By Fran Marlowe. It kind of jumps a little bit there. We're just talking about some basic editing stuff, not really content here. But you can see how Fran Marlowe just sort of fades there and then jumps. It just kind of blinks on, that kind of thing. Minor stuff like that it's sort of like just kind of cleaning up the editing there. Again, we're lingering on the title there. Yeah, I'm not sure what the function is there. If we needed to linger on the title there any longer, I don't think we need to. But if you feel like there was a real purpose for lingering on the title there, maybe the title comes in later, something like that. Maybe we don't have it up as long, that kind of thing. So I think we need to kind of give more attention to the beginning title there, so that it has a little bit more clarity in terms of how long it's there, the purpose of it being on the overlap, that kind of thing. Also, we're doing what's called the blink on. I call it the blink on, where the piece just starts, both audio and video just starts. Now, that's fine. I think that can work quite well. And so just know that that is what you're doing. Put that on top of text, and it just is a jolt. So know that that's what's going on here, and understand how it's going to affect the audience as it works. We're doing a POV here, a point of view, which is what you're dealing with here. Again, this is a point of view that you're working with. It's being seen through your eyes. Now, this is a good strategy to be using, because you're talking about your feelings toward these pets. And so showing it through your point of view, which is low angle, you're moving your head, that kind of thing. It's a good strategy. So the close-ups there, you're effectively introducing them. This first portion, you're introducing characters. Okay, so here you're spending the first 43 seconds of the piece saying, hello, here's these two characters tethered together, right? Now that's communicating something. If they're tethered together, means something. Okay, so regardless of whether you're intending it or not, that they are on a leash, that is tethering them together, is communicating something to the audience, whether they are actively understanding that or not. It's saying something to them. So just know that as well. Okay, the music picks up. Now we're saying, okay, let's go on this journey. So all of this is meaningful. Whether this is purely intentional, whether you are directly saying, this is why I'm choosing the music, all of this stuff, I'm just going to presume that it is. We see you a little bit here. That's, again, just camera work. You want to keep that in mind as you're going. You may not want that. Keep that in your mind as you're working through these kinds of shots. When we're talking about filmmaking, when we're talking about making these kinds of pieces, you want to bear those kinds of things in mind because you want to avoid them. It's just a basic craft thing when you're working on this stuff. Okay, so the music has now changed. And the tenor of the music has changed to more of a mystery, kind of, almost ominous, this sort of humming, this low, intense thing. Just a little bit. It's suggesting something's about to happen. You see that? Hear that? So we're hearing your voice now, right? Now, there were some things that I was thinking about in terms of expressing your content here. Now, camera work aside, we can go through and we can pick out all of the things that we might want to do this way or that way with the editing. We can talk about quality of light. We're doing this during midday kind of thing, whether that's the right choice to express love, whether the harsh lighting is the right choice for expressing this sort of ephemeral quality of I love these creatures and I want to express just how much they mean to me. Is the harsh crisp shadows, is that the right moment to be doing that or not? All of that stuff we could talk about. That's craft. But in terms of content, getting to the content about expressing what you're trying to express, and that is, how do you talk about the idea that these creatures are in your life and you're thinking about them even when you're not with them? That's what love is, right? Love is this thing that captures you in a way that it doesn't leave you. They imprint themselves. These wonderful, wonderful living things get into your heart, and they're stamped on you, and they're not ever away from you. So here you are, and you're talking to them, and you're thinking about them. You're playing with them. So my suggestion, as I was looking at these, and we were talking in the studio, and we were going through the sort of critique discussion, and stuff like that. What I was thinking about is, what other way to express that than the way I was just describing it? Now, there is other ways, of course. What am I saying? There's other ways to describe it, but this is a way you might think about describing it. This is just a thought that I had, and it had to do with contrasting what you're doing here, this footage, the audio of what you're doing, with the other stuff that you do in your life. Meaning, you go to work, you have class, you have other mundane things that take you away from them, that pull you away from these moments where it's a Saturday afternoon or whatever, and you have time to spend with them out in the yard playing with them, right? And when you're away from them, all you want to do is go back to them. You want to be in this moment all the time. So when you're away from them, love is wanting to be back here. Love is thinking about this even when you're away. And so there you are in the restaurant serving, and you're doing the work, but you're thinking about this. And so the contrast, what if there was a contrast where there is footage of these people in a restaurant and there's you working, yet what you hear is this. What you hear is you talking and thinking about them. That's love, right? That is you doing your work, not that you're distracted, but because you're doing the work so that you can go home and provide for them and do the things that you can do for them, that kind of thing. So that's my thought, because what you'd be doing then is not a one-to-one. I love them and I'm showing them that, the joy of loving them. What you're doing is I love them and I'm showing them what I have to do in order to be able to love them. And that is to provide for them and have a home and all of that other kind of stuff. I don't know. It offers a contrast, which is to say that there's always a give and a take. There's always something that you must give in order for love to exist there. The pure love and petting the animals and being with them, people can relate to that. They can also relate to the being away from them and thinking about them anyway. And that, I think, could be very powerful. That, I think, could be powerful. See, you're hearing this audio, and other things are happening. You're driving in a car, right? And this is what you hear. And maybe you cut away to some of this footage, right? That obviously you're thinking about. This is just one thought of how to sort of take something that is very natural, almost documentary. You're just out here filming this, right? But how do you take it and make it something that communicates something even more profound? And that is not just that you're with them, but that you're with them, or you want to be with them when you're not with them. That's love. To me, to me, that would communicate to me that is what love is.
Come here, I can't see you over there.
Right?
Are you right here, tail boy? Are you right here, tail? Are you right here, tail? Oh, I see it. Yours are very heavy.
There's so much potential here. I mean, if I think as sketches, which is what we're doing here, this has a lot of potential here, right? I mean, this would be a wonderful ending here. What you're doing here. I like what you did here at the end, this whole thank you kind of thing, and it fades out and kind of went to the side where they're just piling on to you with love and that kind of thing. Oh, I think that's really cool. That's great. So anyway, I think there's a lot of potential here. I think if we think about the ways in which you can take it and communicate in a way that is beyond the, I don't want to say literal, but more than showing us that you're playing with them, you're showing us what it feels like, and what it feels like to be away from them might have a lot of impact, because I know that when you love, being away from that love has just as powerful an emotion, and sometimes even more of a powerful emotion than when you're with the love. So anyway, that's some of the feedback that I had. We can talk more in person, but I think you've got something going here. I really look forward to what you're doing for film number 3 and for your final film, and we'll talk to you in the studio. All right. Bye-bye now.